Well, it's 2025 and the Liberals have reigned over Canada for a decade, and it looks to me like they've officially waged an economic war on natural-born Canadian citizens. Let's dig in.
We have millions of people whose permits will expire over the next couple of years, and many of them will leave. We need to ensure that more leave than come in over the next couple of years while we catch up. Well, housing, healthcare, and jobs can catch up. We've had population growth of roughly 1 million a year under the Liberals, while we barely build 200,000 homes. Our job market is stalled, and yet we're adding more people to the workforce.
First off, let's take a look at this disgrace. Student unemployment in Ottawa is hovering at 20%. Which is twice as high as the Canadian average at 11%. That's right, 1 in 5 young Canadians in the Ottawa region is handing out resumes and getting nowhere. Meanwhile, what do we see? Well, thousands of labor market impact assessments called LMIAs greenlighting temporary foreign workers for jobs like food service, admin assistants, and landscapers. Landscapers? Are you kidding me? What exactly is going on here? This isn't governance, it's a betrayal. And let's talk about the LMIA map from the first quarter of 2025. The Greater Toronto Area, the GTA, gets its own category because it is drowning in these approvals from administrative officers to food counter attendants, cooks, carpenters. I mean, food counter attendants, like that teen who's taking your order at a local fast food joint. Why can't our own youth, desperate for work, fill these roles? Over 6,643 of them, to be exact. Well, it's because the Liberals have flung open the immigration floodgates, and it's a flood that's drowning our children's futures.
Our young people are facing generational highs in unemployment because the multinational corporations are giving jobs to low-wage temporary foreign workers that ultimately leave our young people without opportunities. Our country is divided and we're not able to integrate people at this pace.
Sound familiar? It reeks of the Cloward-Piven strategy. This was conjured up in the minds of two socialists in the late 1960s as a blueprint for chaos and transformation. Their plan was to overload the welfare state by enticing as many people as possible to apply for every government program until the system collapses. And then what do we get? A system so bloated with temporary foreign workers that our own citizens are left scrambling. We see the proof happening right now in the pudding. Is this all a coincidence? I think not. So while the Canadian Immigration Ministry does not offer direct financial incentives to those who employ foreign workers, instead it funds hard to track and trace programs that assist organizations in integrating so-called skilled laborers into the workforce. In Quebec, for instance, their employment integration program for immigrants and visible minorities called PRIME provides up to 60% of the employee's gross salary up to the current minimum wage, with potential additional funding for things like training, adaptation of HR practices, and accompaniment. It's supposed to be aimed at supporting workforce integration, but it diverts public funds to subsidize private sector wages and training, contributing thus to unfair market competition that prioritizes select groups over broader economic needs. In Ontario, the immigrant nominee program turns into a pay-to-play scheme where this streamlined pathway becomes a lucrative racket when you consider that people are illegally selling government-approved jobs with LMIA assessments on platforms like Kijiji for up to $25,000, exploiting international students and others seeking work and permanent residency in Canada. Now, let's look back at that Ottawa section of the LMIA map because the red and yellow dots are exploding like a policy disaster. 206 approved positions in just 1 quarter. The majority low-wage jobs that should go to our struggling youth and those entering the job market. But no, the Liberals keep rubber stamping these LMIAs, handing our economy to outsiders while Canadian kids are sidelined. This isn't compassion, it's economic sabotage. And some are saying it's no accident. They're accusing the Liberals of deliberately stacking the deck against us, against our children, to push some radical agenda. I'm not saying that that's necessarily true, but the evidence is piling up, isn't it? So I ask, prove me wrong. Because right now, it looks like the Liberals are selling out Canada's future for a cheap political win.
So in order to fix the problem, we've got to we need to put very hard caps on immigration levels. We need more people leaving than coming for the next couple of years. And we need, so our country can actually catch up. Our immigration policy should invite the right people in the right numbers in a way that puts Canada and Canadians first.
For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. It's becoming increasingly clear that Canadians are suffering as a result of uncontrolled immigration under the continued Liberal reign. The cost of living has soared, there's inadequate housing, and our social welfare system is buckling at the seams. Please sign our petition at netzeroimmigration.com to demand that Mark Carney stop this unmitigated influx of immigrants into Canada. That's netzeroimmigration.com.